Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Pete Fitzgerald, Senior Sales Engineer here with Juniper Networks. We're here in our headquarters in Sunnyvale, California. We're honored to be joined by members of Blackbox, where we're talking about a new WAS offering, or Wireless as a Service offering, powered by Juniper. We are joined by executives from both organizations that are going to talk about the drivers which make this offering relevant in today's market, the service itself, the technology behind the service, and hopefully time permitting, we'll have some time for some Q&A. But now some quick introductions. Next to me on this side, I have Sanjeev Verma, who is the CEO of Blackbox out of Texas. Next to Sanjeev, I have Sudhir Mata, who is the Group Vice President of Mist Juniper Networks out of California. I have Junaid Unari, who is a practice leader, enterprise networking for Blackbox out of Texas. And next to me on this side, I have Gordon McIntosh, our Group Vice President, Global Channels and Virtual Sales at Juniper Networks out of California. Now let's kick things off. Sanjeev, for those of us who are not familiar with Blackbox, can you tell us about the company, the vision and mission, why the investment in a WAS offering, and most importantly, why did you pick Juniper?
Thanks, Pete. I think, welcome everybody. Blackbox is a 40-year-old company focused in the ICT space. We are a global ICT solutions integrator operating in 35 odd countries with 4,000 team members. Our focus is around 6 key areas of connected and smart buildings, data center, networking, digital workplace, contact center, and cybersecurity. Our mission as a company is to provide cutting-edge, future-proof technology to our customers to help accelerate their business. Our vision is to be a trusted customer partner, committed on providing customer satisfaction and continuous innovation. We have decided to invest in wireless as a service powered by Juniper. We believe today customers are more focused on experience in providing quality and reliability than a product or technology itself. And we believe Juniper, with its AI-driven technology, which Sudhir will talk about, is very well suited to provide that experience that the customers deserve today. With respect to partnering with Juniper, I believe a partnership is focused on having a strong relationship, being relevant, and driving results. We believe partnership with Juniper and Blackbox, that today is a global partnership, has all the elements for us to work together to drive and provide a superior quality of an outcome for our customers. And therefore, I believe Blackbox is making the right decision to provide network as a service, wireless as a service partner with Juniper, which thinks ahead of the curve. And with that, I think talk more about our partnership. I'll have Gordon speak a few things about why it makes sense for Juniper to partner with Blackbox. Gordon?
Yeah, thanks, Sanjeev. We're really excited about the partnership with Blackbox. It's been forged over the last few quarters. When we take a look at what's happening in the market, we're seeing a rapid transition to managed services and network as a services. And to your point, Sanjeev, it's really about the customer experience. When I think about that customer experience, and I think about our technology and the differentiation that our AI brings, and then I think about your scale and reach and capabilities that you've built up over the last several decades, it really is the perfect storm. Just a tremendous opportunity. We're going to be able to take what we all believe and is recognized by industry analysts as some very disruptive, excellent technology that can really fine-tune networking as a service to really meet those customer experiences that you talked about before. So the scale of the two organizations coming together, forging this global partnership is really exciting. It is the perfect storm, and it allows us in the enterprise space and the mid-market to offer joint solutions that really meet the needs of our customers on a far bigger scale than we've been able to do in the past. So Juniper is doing extremely well in multiple verticals, and again, in terms of being the perfect storm, really a good match with the verticals that you have a very established relationship and go to market in, Sanjeev. So this is a very special relationship. It's one that I'm very excited about, and I'm sure our customers, our joint customers, are going to get just a simply world-class experience from. And with that, I think I'll hand you over to Sudhir.
Yeah, no, thank you, Gordon. One of the things before I start the product piece of this, I think what I'm excited about is sort of the maturity of the two companies in this space, right? And so, BlackBox's tenure that Sanjeev, you've built over the last 20, 40 years as a company. And Gordon, I think you talked about, you came into Juniper, transformed our partner organization, and really, we're going to this, we're in the hockey stick phase. And so thank you for, both of you truly driving this partnership and bringing us here, because the maturity of the two companies is powerful, right? And this is a perfect storm, like you said, Gordon. So with that, let's look at the technology itself, right? Let's look at what is the offering, why are we excited about it, and basically, what can you get out of this technology? And does technology even matter when you're acquiring the network as a service? If it's a utility, do you care if the network is what kind of network it is and what outcomes it will deliver? So let me start with the AI-driven wireless from Juniper Mist. We are the leader in the space of wired wireless infrastructure. This is the Gartner Magic Quadrant, a $21 billion Magic Quadrant for wired and wireless. And we are sitting as the vendor with the highest execution on this, on the left, on the vertical axis, and the highest vision on the horizontal axis. Truly the best of the best right now per some industry analysts. And then on the right-hand side, you see that we are the only networking vendor who is a leader in the Indoor Location Services Magic Quadrant. What does this mean? What this means is when you are looking at your enterprise and you want the enterprise to be a rich digital enterprise, meaning when I walk in, I should be literally digitally be able to see where the conference rooms are, if you're an open workspace and you want to see where the coolest window, the open workspace watching over the window, watching over the river, some of the best indoor navigation services we can deliver. Every single Mist access point has a Bluetooth antenna array built in to the access point so that you can deliver and digitize your enterprises, right? So this is the analyst view. Let me tell you, you're on LinkedIn. And by the way, thank you for joining us on this LinkedIn Live. It's my first LinkedIn Live. I'm excited about it, if you can't tell. And so on LinkedIn, if you have friends, if you have colleagues and in your social circle, if you have individuals that have touched or deployed Mist, I want you to ask them just one question, literally only one question. And the question I want you to ask them is this the best network that you have ever deployed? And honest to goodness, you're going to get an answer that if they've deployed a Mist network, they will tell you it's the best network they've ever deployed for wireless, right? I've been in Wi-Fi for 22 years, but honest to goodness, nothing like this kind of customer response I've ever seen. So the analysts agree this is hot technology. The customers agree this is great technology. But let me show you where the rubber meets the road. The rubber meets the road in the actual customers. The logos you see scrolling on the right-hand side, these are public references of this Juniper Mist technology. You saw Gap fly by. We displaced 24,000 Meraki APs at the Gap. Every Gap store, Old Navy store, Athleta store, one-to-one, and then they cut down their average number of site visits by 85% reduction in site visits without adding a single extra AP to their entire network, just displacing, Meraki to Mist. One of the names that scrolled by was ServiceNow. They had a 90% reduction in the number of issues that they got reported from users. This is an outcome-enabling network. This is an outcome-enabling platform. Why is it so fundamentally different? What gives What is so fundamentally different about this? It is the focus on user experience. Every user, every minute. If you're a student taking an exam in a law school, if you're a doctor walking out of a surgery on a phone call, that user experience matters. And so when we built Mist in 2014, when Mist was founded, we went after this problem of solving and understanding, collecting, collating, and curating user experience. And if we can make it better by self-driving AI, we could do that, right? We do that. So that's what this is about. It's about user experience. It's about measuring user experience, every user, every minute, and then making the user experience better. That's it, right? We sell APs, we sell switches, we sell the network. You're going to get this network as a service through Blackbox, but fundamentally, this is a platform built for user experience. Now, beyond user experience, the other thing that we have done is add AI to this. We've brought AI, like when you deploy a Mist network, it could be a complex warehouse, a distribution center in retail. It could be a network in a hot higher education institution, a large higher education institution. It could be students taking an exam in a K through 12 school. It could be clinical facilities, ICU facilities in healthcare. We brought AI so that we could actually optimize the network experience, the parameters that the network runs on using AI beyond human intelligence. Humans can't see that every Tuesday, the network has this behavior. Human can't see if, if a flight goes up here and I see radar, every time a flight goes on, the AI can see and baseline and make the network better because of that. That's why fundamentally, whether you buy from Blackbox or not, whether you buy from Juniper or not, make this commitment to yourself that you will not buy a non-AI powered network anymore. This is foundational. It's like trying to buy DVD players when you could watch the world movies using Netflix. Don't buy legacy hardware. It's bad for you. Third thing, a modern microservices cloud architecture is foundational to everything. We were the folks that actually were in Cisco and running the largest enterprise business before we exited into Mist and founded this company. We had the privilege and the humbling honor to acquire Meraki into Cisco. There are cloud-based services out there, but none as modern and as driven on a public cloud, elastic scalable cloud. And why does that make a difference? Let me tell you, here's why. On May 11th of 2021, a security vulnerability was announced in the Wi-Fi world. On May 11th of 2021, Juniper Mist had firmware and software ready to remediate the security vulnerability. And on the 18th of May, our universe was remediated of that security vulnerability in 1 week. 1 week, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, listen to me here. This is a modern cloud architecture. The rest of the industry took months to remediate an on-prem network. Last but not least, digitization of the enterprise networks. We are the leader in this space for a reason, and we deliver this. Now, let me show this to you in action, because this is a lot of words. A lot of our competitors, even the new and emerging ones and the old and legacy ones, will make bold claims on network as a service. Let me tell you why the platform, when user experience as a service, matters. So when we started Mist, we were asking a question in the NOC teams of a lot of companies. Hey, what are your top 10 issues in Wi-Fi, right? And so basically, one particular engineer in South Africa, so he said, Sudhir, I don't have 10 issues in Wi-Fi. I only have 2 problems in Wi-Fi. I said, wow, what a grand oversimplification. What are your top 2 problems in Wi-Fi? He said, people call in and say, I can't connect to the network. We've all been there, done that. And the only other problem, he said, is Sudhir, people call in and say, hey, my Wi-Fi sucks. And we said, interesting. That means your experience is not good. That's the euphemism for. And so we today run the largest networks in the world. One of the customers, we have 180,000 access points. And across 180,000 access points, 1.8 million user devices. Every device off that network, every minute, I can answer the question, was the coverage good for that device or was it bad? Every user, every minute, all the time knowing the coverage experience, is it good or bad? Knowing if the capacity experience, are we delivering good capacity or bad? Are we delivering good performance or bad, right? Every user, every minute. Now, if 46% of the time, if the user connected, happy and healthy, thankfully this is a demo network, what's that 54% of failure? And without a single click, I just zoomed in here. I did not touch, I did not click anything. I can tell you without a single click, is it the Wi-Fi that's the issue? Is it the Radius servers and the pre-shared keys that are causing the problems? Here, 98% of the 54% of failures is PSK and Radius related. Then let me tell you, okay, great. But tell me more. I want to know exactly when did problems start, right? What type of device types and device OSs is the problem impacting? Every user, every minute. Meraki, Aruba, Aero, Hive, Ruckus, Cirrus can tell you the top 10 failures. We are the ones that can tell you the bottom 10%. If, for example, Randy's MacBook Pro here or Sanjoy's MacBook Pro is only failing 4% of the time, I want to click on it. I want to know Sanjoy's experience, what was happening. And we have the data, 34 of the transactions were failing. Imagine if you had the video footage of every crime committed on the network. This is the video footage of every crime committed on the network, which is in every failure on the network, and we have it. We have dynamic packet capture. One of the world's largest deployments we have done is 66,000 APs across 130 countries, and they reduced their mean time to repair for incidents by 96%. How did they do that? Because with dynamic packet capture, they don't need to wait for problems to reoccur. The data is there, right? Every time there is a bad transaction, the data exists. This is what a modern, elastic, microservices-driven cloud architecture can do for you, not the legacy architectures. Now, let's say, okay, all of this data, but IT doesn't have time to curate all of this. So that's where enter Marvis. Marvis is our AI engine, and basically what Marvis does is summarizes, it collects, collates, and curates it, and baselines this entire experience. And once you baseline this experience, we're able to say, aha, are there layer one problems? Is there a bad cable in the network, right? We at Juniper Networks, we have 50,000 Ethernet ports, out of which 26 bad cables exist, right? Is the Radius server going out to lunch? Is the DHCP server not providing IP space? Is there an anomaly in the baseline? So if I can follow the baseline, and suddenly there's an anomaly, even if I'm not talking to the DHCP server or the Radius server, we can alert IT proactively with high efficacy. In the world of today's wireless networks, right? Let's say you have Cisco or you have Meraki. If one of those APs can't connect to the cloud, what do you do? What can't connect, can't see the controller? What do? You have to log into the switch port and see what's going on. Is the device even alive and transacting? Not in the Mist world, not in the modern world. The Mist AP can actually speak to its neighbor via Bluetooth and say, aha, my switch is down. Right? This AP is not connected to the cloud. It's physically down. How does the cloud know that the switch is down for this AP? Because the AP is telling the neighbor that, hey, my Ethernet port is actually not providing me an IP address, or the port is down, or I'm locally offline. So the little things to be able to answer basic questions in Wi-Fi in making your operational experience simpler. We did a large retail store chain, PetSmart. You saw their logo fly by, 1,600 retail stores. And they said, you know what, we did a cookie cutter design, but I want to know, is there coverage holes? We've sent people back to 7 out of 1,600 sites because there was a coverage hole. We can detect coverage holes when there's user experience issue, when there's a capacity hole, when there's user experience issues. This is what a modern cloud should do. One of the banes of our existence in Wi-Fi is users suffering in silence. So this is where the magic of Marvis, I can ask Marvis, hey Marvis, who's having a bad Wi-Fi day today? Show me unhappy users, and boom, Marvis comes back with, these 2 users are having a bad Wi-Fi day, right? And so if I zoom this out and say, okay, well, the last 7 days, tell me who's had a bad Wi-Fi day. boom, these users are having a terrible Wi-Fi day. And then you say, okay, I want to understand why this user is having a bad Wi-Fi day, right? Literally, this user did not open a support ticket. This user may not even care, may have given up on the network. Here we're telling you, hey, this user is having failures and it's happening at this time because of these classifiers, these variables, and this is how it correlates with every other user on the network. All of this stuff is delivered on a platter. And now, when you package this as a managed service, as a network as a service, this is what Blackbox is able to leverage to provide a differentiated experience for your users. Users suffering in silence, with this network as a service, Blackbox can identify that. A Cisco network cannot tell you users suffering in silence. Let me now zoom out and say, what are the other things in this networking platform? One of the major trends in the industry right now is IoT. IoT has exploded, especially in verticals where you don't expect to have, a lot of unmanaged devices. Healthcare, a lot of IoT devices. Retail, lots of IoT devices. And what do? They don't support .1x. So how do you bring them onto the network? Using pre-shared keys. So pre-shared keys are available on every network. Why is Juniper's pre-shared key and IoT assurance different and better? Because we can make the name of the key. Let's say you want to give a wireless key to all your refrigerators. You could basically say, okay, this is my refrigerator key, and I'm going to put it on VLAN 200 because only my refrigerators are on that VLAN. And then I can, say only my refrigerators can use this thing. And literally, I'm creating policy and segmentation for IoT devices with the wireless key as the key to the whole policy, right? Because MAC address randomization that iOS and Androids have launched, you cannot use MAC addresses anymore. That's old school. That's what you did with Cisco. The modern world, you actually use IoT assurance with pre-shared keys. And imagine now you have to life cycle this key, right? I have to change the key on all my refrigerators. Let's say, how do you do this? With Juniper Mist, you actually are able to create a duplicate key and be able to say, you know what, keep using the existing one, and then introduce the new one and watch as the transition is happening. The other one is guest networks. A lot of people have clusters of ClearPass servers or ICE servers in the data center to provide guests. All of guest is natively integrated into the Mist platform. That is sponsored guest. That is, authenticate using Facebook login, Google login, text message login, email login, all built into this network as a service from Blackbox, right? This is a powerful way, a modern platform delivering wireless as an honest to goodness service. Now let's talk about the business analytics here, engagement analytics. When people are passing by or dwell times in your network, network analytics, all of what's happening on the network, location-based analytics. I want to see everything happening on my network from a digital perspective. The world is your oyster. This is a platform built for the modern world. And so this is why when you talk about network as a service, you need a platform built for the future, a platform that's elastically scalable, foundationally layered under with AI. So with that, Junaid, I'm going to turn it over to you because make this real. How do people get this thing? They love this technology. They want it right now, but how do they get it from Blackbox?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sudhir. First of all, very exciting, wonderful seeing it again and again and again. And of course, your energy level, I can't match it. It's fantastic.
But you match it with product. Let's go.
Exactly. In the industry, for our businesses and customers, they are looking at not only technology, but how to make those things happen. When Gartner looks at it, they have a RGT model, run, grow, and transform. The running is a day-to-day operations. A day-to-day operation, when it is run, it is a time, money, and process hungry, people hungry process. What I mean by that, a customer has a business, they need to run it. And that business is powered by IT infrastructure, people supporting that IT network, and of course, that IT changes because it has to match with all the requirements of the business customer is running. So every 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, there's a network refresh needs to occur. Again, you have to look at all the requirements, match it, translate it, and put it back into the IT budgeting. That is 60 to 65, 70% of the IT budget CapEx is spent from a customer's perspective. But return of investment is 20 to 25% of this budget. But they need to keep the lights running on. So customer has a dilemma. Should I keep the networks at a low ROI to keep my lights on? Or should I transform myself and invest more into my core business and expand my ROI to 60 to 70%? It's run, grow, transform, using technologies and a partnership with Juniper and the model that we have put together to convert a CapEx into an OpEx strategy for our customers. In the transform model, we are looking at approximately 15% of the IT budget in the OpEx side of the things, which takes the ROI 60 to 70% for our customers. That's the value that comes in front of our customers. How we do it in Blackbox? Of course, through the strong partnership at a global scale with Juniper, Juniper Mist, and AI technology. We combine it with our forces on the ground. We are in 35 plus countries and plus more countries through other partnership, and we do it every day. We have 4,000 plus people on the ground. We have boots on the ground. We can install it for our customers. We can provide field services. We can design this technology. We can provide surveys. We have global NOC globally in India, in US, and we are expanding every day. So we have a full support model, and we are in different verticals, retail, healthcare, energy, you name it, we are there. So we are combining these two things together and creating a powerful offer, which is a scale at a global level. But the definition of as a service, the people who are our audience today, they always wonder, what do we mean by as a service? I have heard this term many times. Everybody comes and says, we got it as a service. But what does that mean? It's a very fluid definition. Everybody has their as a service definition. Some people provide just the hardware and software and call it an as a service and creating a leasing model. Few people will come and provide you, very few people will come and provide you the field services and convert into as a service. Somewhat managed services portion by some providers, but at Blackbox, we take it from a concept to configure, design, operate, manage. We also provide customers success managers to look at the data. Is customers happy or not? All of this together, and then go to the refresh cycle for our customers. Now, this optimization of the full life cycle, that gives us an advantage. That's a cost optimization, a 78% reduction. Customers' ROI is met within 2 to 3 years max. And AI from Juniper, that's reducing the ticket of 90%. So when we say a 90% reduction in the tickets, it's not just the tickets. It translates into truck rolls. That translates into the time, money, and effort that goes. And that cost, at the end of the day, customer is bearing it. But in this model, no, it is taken out of them. So it's very cost-effective model. So full life cycle, powered by Juniper AI, that's what we have created here, and that's what we are offering as a service. So what we have talked about, it is an improved service because it uses AI and a machine learning, and we have lowered the OpEx with simplified operations at a global scale offered by Blackbox. And because of the global scale, we are able to offer our service level agreements at a global scale because we are a global company. We call ourselves Glocal. We are global and we are locally present with our customers right there. On the left-hand side, you can see all in our offer, everything is included. That's our as a service. Per access point, per month. That's what we can do. That's how we can price it out, but that's not the only thing we can provide. Our model is a very packet-based, modular, kind of Lego you can think of. If somebody comes in and says, I just want the managed services piece of it. Yes, we can do it. I just want the PM side of it. Yes, we can do it. I just want day 2 services. Yes, I want the hardware and the network refresh and everything included. Yes, of course. We can create our own menu, but we can do it full 100% and nobody can do it. And we have done it, we are doing it. And that's what the differentiation that we put forward for our customers. Others, somewhat available, somewhere available, in some territories available, and most of the time it's not even available. That's where we are, and that's our advantage.
With that, actually, Brendan, if you wouldn't mind zooming out, I'd like to ask Sanjeev, as the CEO of the company, your customers are sitting in the audience. What do you tell them? I mean, they're in a current CapEx world. What do you tell them? Why should they consider in this OpEx model? What do you think is the value to the customers?
So I think end of the day, I think the customer, as we all know, from a analogy perspective, what is important is the music, right? I mean, we don't focus on the instruments that go behind the music. I mean, we don't even know who created the instruments. We all listen to good music. Now, this wireless as a service powered by Juniper is the music for the network, right? I mean, you can talk about devices and APs and stuff and AI and ML, and there are plenty of other instruments going behind that. Back to the service. I think so. This is about creating the music in the network, experience in the network. This is the symphony we're talking about. And I believe it's outcome-based. Of course, horses for courses, there'll be customers who will be looking for various colors and flavors of that. What Junaid just presented is our ability to take the whole cycle from concept design to deploy, to manage, to refresh, evergreen technology through Juniper in the cloud, right, coming through. So I believe this is path-breaking. This is the way we want to consume services going forward. And I think outcome-based, depending upon a customer's needs, time, we can pick and choose. But I think the focus out here is the music for the network.
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
That's great. And what I love is there are managed service that and Netflix as a service that offerings that are out there that are. This is the menu I have. You choose the everything, right? So here, this the Lego blocks approach. I think the Lego block approach is powerful, right? So you don't have to turn over your entire network on day one, right? You could start with managed service or a building, and that's how we start, right? How does one of the questions that I always get is, but great, all of this sounds good. It sounds really good. I want to transform there. But today I have a legacy network. I have an existing network, and it sort of works okay. How do I get started? And so maybe I'll answer my own question. But the thing that we've found successful is start with one building, right? One location. And one of our large service providers who's become a massive customer for us. They said, I don't even have a building to give you. I have one floor to give you. And literally, they had Cisco above, Cisco below, and they said, if you can make this floor work with Cisco above and Cisco below, without touching my user devices, right? Without upgrading, changing the SSIDs on them, putting new certificates on them, none of that. My user shouldn't know, right? And so, what I think between Blackbox and Juniper, what we're able to offer is start where you can. Start in a small kernel. And don't use the entire, everything if you don't need to, and that's powerful, right? I think that's where, because a lot of existing customers are.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we are striving for. That don't go all in, and you don't have to go all in. Just check out as small, non-impacting from your perspective, Mr. Customer, which is low, and then we show you how it works, and somebody who has not seen it. So experiencing it speaks itself.
Yes, I think the proof is in the pudding, and I would encourage our customers and our sellers that talk to customers to have this demo or the proof of concept. Once that is there, I mean, it starts from there.
Yeah.
Right. You have to experience it to be able to believe it. And we're happy to work with our customers along with Jennifer, our services team, to enable that non-intrusive POC to experience that. And then, of course, the music starts from there.
Yes, I love this music.
Start from there.
So Pete, one of the things you're working on the Juniper side is taking a lot of the claims we make, right? Reduction in support tickets, this and this, and we've leveraged an outside service, an analyst, to go actually study this in real customers. But you're actually trying to take that data, distill it for our sales and partners.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about the Forrester TCO study.
Sure. So Forrester did a study, and their study was they took a bunch of our customers, and they did a lot of their own analysis, and they looked at the system to see how it stacked up against everybody else. And what they saw, and we validated this, by the way, with our own customers, what they saw was a 70% reduction in tickets, a 50% reduction in the time to fix the remaining tickets. So, and then in addition to that, a 75% reduction in truck rolls. That's all based on the technology, the AI, and the things we do behind the scenes. But the one thing I want to point out with that, 70% reduction in tickets, and most folks think about that from the knock cost. What's it going to cost you from a knock perspective? Most folks miss what the business impact of that is.
Right.
So 70% more tickets means 70% more user interruptions, business interruptions, visitor interruptions, and things like that. So the total cost of ownership substantially goes down in not only in with Mist AI, but with an OpEx model, and with your global touch. It's
right.
Perfect.
And actually a real world translation of this. So first things first, the Forrester study was basically, they said, yeah, take out all of the Juniper claims and the black box claims. I want to talk to real customers. And was this outcome the actual outcome you got? Not what you expected when you started the project. And so that's what they did, and that's where these numbers come from. In one of the retail customers, Pete, that we actually ended up displacing a competitor. That 70%, very important point that you talked about, that 70% of interruptions in the business, for them, that translated into, they rolled out an iPad in every store had 2 iPads for basically walk up to the consumer to do the transaction versus come to the counter, right? And so what they found is when they walked up to the counter, to the consumer, they had a 90% drop in the number of times the application says unreachable. Literally, the screen would come back and say they're there to execute a transaction, and the application will say internet unreachable, right? That error they measured using an application performance monitor tool, and that error reduced by 90% for them after they rolled to Mist, right? So and to your point, the as a service puts this on hyper gear, right? Because it's experience as a service is what you are after, Sanjeev and Junaid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
One more point on that. So that reduction in tickets, when it manifests itself as reduction in cost and reduction in truck rolls, that translates to, and I totally forgot where I was going. I'm sorry about that.
But Junaid,
so to your point, and that's what we were trying to highlight. That time spent on these troubleshooting, in fact, is taken from attending the core business.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's a time lost. It's a money lost.
Right.
That's what we are trying to reclaim, that time and money, and refocusing it and as a service model. So you don't have to worry about these things,
Right.
but it needs to be powered by something powerful.
Right.
We can't claim something is awesome and fly in a plane which we don't trust.
Right.
We need to have a credible technology vendor. We can believe in it.
Right.
We can see in it, and that's where we need to fly with.
Right. So Sanjeev, as I heard your story a few times yesterday, one of the things that you fundamentally based Blackbox differentiation on is having a global reach, right? And in that model, the challenge is even more, right? If I have, a distribution center in Mozambique or a distribution center in Madagascar or in Spain or in Sweden, not having local people there. So you didn't launch this network as a service to, hey, eastern part of the United States or even the United States. So talk about the global nature and what this means to you as a company strategy and sort of what this means to our customers.
Yes, I think we are into one, of course, in a connected world, right? So I think that's more than ever before. So our ability to, and of course, the last couple of years we have seen during COVID, our ability to collaborate across continent and cultures. So I think when we build this company, I call it a global company. Think globally and act locally. When I say think globally, our processes, our talent is across the world. But I think we're very local where the relationship exists, right? Sometimes you have to physically present. So we do have a feet on street and the boots on the ground in 35 odd countries and expanding at this time. So if you have to, of course, we can manage an AI powered network from anywhere, but should we need to touch something, should we need to hold or refresh or replace, we are very local in nature. Currently in 35 odd countries through our own resources and close to 120 with our partner resources, right? It's quite, but we should be able to cover it from all the 6 continents we have. And I think that's a clear differentiator than just being a local. Our customers are global. Their aspirations are global at this time. Many of our Fortune customers have offices in many, many countries, and they want a seamless experience. They have a global program, a global help desk, a global rollout. It's only obvious that they need a partner that can deal out with globally, right? And I think collectively with our Juniper Global Partnership now, seamlessly as a GSI partner, with our customers being global and our resources being global and local, I think it's a perfect mix.
Yeah, actually, the example that struck for me, Sanjeev, is one of the largest retailers in the U.S. Their logo is red in color, they're a U.S. retailer, right? And so when I first met them, I expected to be deployed in the U.S. Their very first deployment with Mist was in Bangalore, right? And turns out they're a partner of yours. You provide services to them. Even if they were a U.S. retailer and they exclusively do business in the U.S., they end up having to support an India office and India call center. And that's where this local model, this global local model is powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're seeing that change. I mean, it changes the context for managing vendors across countries is also a cost for customers, right? Managing cross-continent cultures, right? And we take that out. And I think we're giving this seamlessly. I think we can meet them where their corporate headquarters are, but serve them wherever the branch offices are seamlessly.
Right.
And I think that's what we're doing this time.
Yeah. And so another thing, Junaid, that a lot of times the question I get is, if I'm consuming this as a service, why do I care, what the underlying technology is, right? Why, if that was, any other vendor on the Gartner Magic Quadrant, if Blackbox is accountable for my SLA, do I care, right? And so what customers have told us time and again, right, including, the customers we've jointly won already, is when there's a security patch, how fast can the technology react, right? When there is, when I need a new feature, how fast does the platform evolve? That's where it does matter what the underlying technology is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have 2 comments around that. Yes, on the surface, it appears that I don't care, but they care when things break.
That's right, yes.
They care when things break. When you're flying in an airplane, something goes wrong, then you care what's going on there, right? This is the first thing. Second thing, they should care, and that's our job to educate them, that why it's important is because the contribution of technology is an improvement on the operation side of the thing. That's a cost optimization, and that's the value. That's why we are able to make it affordable. Otherwise, it's not affordable because we are signing an SLA that has penalties, that has some repercussions that we have to hold ourselves. So we need to trust what we are signing up against.
Right.
And that's why we have to choose a technology that works, and it works for our customers. So that's why, again, nobody cares when it works, but everybody cares when it's broken.
So Junaid, sounds like we're talking too much to ourselves. There are actually people asking questions. So maybe let me ask you, Typically, if I don't, thank you for the question, by the way, and please ask questions on LinkedIn. We're here. That's the whole point of doing LinkedIn Live. So thank you for this question. We typically don't outsource our network management. Can Blackbox and Juniper still help us?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. And that translates into ROI. Again, ROI goes up when you are repurposing yourself to inwards to your core businesses, core businesses that customers are supporting. So right now they are busy in, monitoring, upgrading, patching softwares. So why trouble it? We can help you. It doesn't mean that, we are taking away certain roles from the organization. That means now you can focus on better things. You can repurpose your people without increasing your internal cost.
Funny you say that. That's literally the next question. It says, does this mean Blackbox sort of makes my job irrelevant? And honestly, from what I've seen, never. That's not what this means. This means you tend to focus on what moves the business needle, and what actually, the business outcomes you're trying to drive. The network as a service, what Blackbox brings to the table with this technology is the little nitty-gritty stuff that can go wrong, continually making sure user experience is good and at a high level, right? And so you can continue to innovate in your business, right? Sanjeev, anything you want to add to that?
I think that's a very interesting question. So it's not about outsourcing or network. I think what we're providing as a service is supplementing your ability to provide better customer experience to your users, right? End of the day, and of course, you keep your job better if your users are happy, right? If your users are unhappy in an IT team, you possibly wouldn't keep a job because they can't do that. So I think this is not if and or replace something. It is providing a service through an AI-powered technology by Juniper that gives better insights. All that we are saying that we can provide it as a service, as a managed service, as a per device, depending how you want to consume it. But more importantly, we are focused on providing a better experience to our customers, who in turn will provide a better experience to their users, employees, or outside customers. That's the focus, right? So it's not about replacing or outsourcing a network management. You can continue to manage your network, just that you have better insight with that dashboard, with the report that come to you, the logs that you can see. You can click yourself, right? I mean, I could click it for you if you wanted me to click and send you a report, and or you can click for yourself. We just give you better insights. So the answer is, yes, we can support. You can keep the network. We're just providing better insights, as to why things are happening. It's more on the whys than what and how.
So I know we're running out of time, but let me actually answer one other question, which is, how do we get started, right? Thank you for asking the question. I know you're here. I'm going to make an offer today to anybody that's listening, now or post-recording, listening to the recording on this. Reach out to your Blackbox sales team, right? Reach out to your Juniper sales team. Doesn't matter. Tell them you heard about this on the Blackbox Juniper webinar. We will send you an AP right now, immediately. We have, thankfully, touch wood, we've throughout the supply chain pandemic, supply chain crisis, we've maintained, short way, transport windows for getting gear to you. Anybody that is listening, if you have an active project and you would like to kick the tires on the technology, if you want to try this out, we will send you a free AP. You just have to make sure you come through your Blackbox sales team or the Juniper sales team, and we'll get you an access point, and you can get started. And then, the team will actually essentially basically guide you and walk you through the process. Like Junaid said, pick what you like, pick what you need out of this service, out of this offering. You don't have to do the entire enchilada. So, but we're eager, and truly, our process is very simple. You'll try it at home, you'll try it in a lab, and do a production pilot. And after that, it's sort of mic drop, walk into the sunset. You will never look back. You can't unsee what you see with this Juniper Mist technology, with the black box service. So it's game changing. So with that, I know we're almost over time. We're actually over time. Sorry about that. But any closing thoughts, Sanjeev?
No, I think, as you said, reach out to your local black box sales contacts. We'll also reach out to your Juniper sales team. This, we believe, is transformational. This is very, very experiential at this time, and we all want our customers to experience or have the ability to experience that going forward. Thank you so much for taking time to attend our webinar.
Junaid,
Thank you very much.
Anything you want to add to that?
I would say I supplement your offer, and we will do demos and POC at your location. Just connect
Pete,
with
a
everyone.
final word from you?
Yeah. Thank you so much for everybody's time. And yeah, the proof is in the numbers. So if you want to talk TCO, call me.
Yeah, and then lastly, what I will tell you is you attend a lot of stuff. You attend a lot of webinars, a lot of conferences. Inspiration without action is time you just wasted, right? You know, if you felt this was something that you were excited about, you were inspired by, please reach out to your black box teams and Juniper teams, and we want to get you started on this journey. Please, we are right here on LinkedIn on black box or Juniper. Thank you so very much for the time commitment today. We're looking forward to connecting with all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.